Hello, folks. Welcome to Land Tamer Stream. It's been a while. It's good to be back on the stream. I got a lot to talk about on the agenda, but we are going to keep it short because some things have changed here since I've been on the stream last time. We've had some pretty important announcements that definitely affect yours truly. So let me get the chat window up here. I'm a little discombobulated today. I'm already like in a rush because of you're going to sense a little more urgency in my words and in my actions just because of all that's going on. So anyway, yeah, so big announcements, right? First of all, we heard, since I've been on the stream, I, of course, have been to Cisco Live, which was awesome for the second time. Um, uh, such a great, such a great event. And I am going to do a video on that. Cisco Live as a second timer. So last year I did a video series actually, first timer at Cisco Live. This time I'm going to do it as a second timer, and it's going to be brief, which I'll explain more in a minute. But that is upcoming. I am still going to put out content here and there as I can. It will be less though, due to some developments here. The other thing is I need to talk about lab date and strategy. So as many of you are already aware, of course, I would imagine. They have changed significantly the CCIE program. They changed the certification tracks altogether, and you probably read there's already some good blogs out there kind of explaining it. There's some good videos. Some of them are like CCNA specific. I think Network Chuck put out information that has a lot talk about CCNA, CCNP. I haven't watched the video, so I don't know, but I did read Networking Nerd. Wrote a blog article. His is really focused on recertification changes, which is great. What I'm really interested in is the change to the CCIE program. So, in particular, the route switch, which will be no more as of February 24th of next year. If you have not heard that already, which I'm sure you have. So, obviously, for me, I've been working for parts of 3-4 years on the blueprint that I'm on now. The majority of it anyway. There have been some minor changes with evolving technologies in the written section. But yeah, I've been working on this blueprint for a while, and I'm so vested in it that while I think the changes to the Cisco certification program are awesome, don't get me wrong, I think in large part, most would agree that these changes are needed, they're necessary. Um, they show that it's going to help the CCI program continue to thrive and Cisco certifications, period. So that's good. While that is the case, the timing is really bad for me. So bad in such that I'm so far in. I was planning on taking the lab probably in October or November. I've been telling people maybe November. Uh, and that's okay because I have moved that up and I have scheduled my lab. So lab is scheduled. It turns out that I'm like just the next lab day, the next business day after Tony E scheduled his. That's by pure coincidence. So yeah, I'm scheduled now for Monday, October 14th, and that will be my first attempt. Obviously, the time is short. There are approximately 8 months until this exam that I've scheduled and I'm trying to take will go away. So obviously, there's a lot of sense of urgency. That is going to change a little bit how I stream. I need to be so focused right now that I'm cutting back on most non-essential activities and things that take time from me. So, uh, yeah, I've already started to see that change. So, certain things I do to relax, I'm still going to do. Yeah, I'm not going to go too nuts, but uh, you know, potential trips I was going to take, things like that, are all taken off the table, um, except for where like I've scheduled booked flights, right? So we've got a vacation coming up this summer, family trip. That's not going away, but I am going to start to exhaust or use all my vacation time. I mean, it is go time. While I was pretty sure I was going to be ready in November, I thought that I would have, if I failed, which I don't plan on doing, but if I failed, that I would try to, that I'd have plenty of time to, not forever, but I thought I'd have plenty of time to do retakes as needed. Well, of course, you may or may not know, after you fail a lab exam, currently, you have to wait at least 30 days to take another attempt. So the number of attempts I'm going to be able to take are very limited. If I fail in October, on October 14th, um, I have not decided yet. I'll probably decide it then whether I would go ahead and schedule another attempt at 30 days, or I might wait another 2 months. If I waited 2 months between attempts, that means I would get a total of 3 attempts over and over, December, January. Yeah, I may potentially get 3 attempts at this particular blueprint. So hopefully that will be enough. If I feel like, it could mean in October, if I go with that date, that at the most I could take potentially 5 attempts at the lab, one every month. That's a lot of money, though. I could make it happen, but that would be $8,000 worth of attempts and travel to Dallas area. I think that's where Richardson is. Let's see. So, yeah, like if I were to drive, it'd be a 16-hour and 22-minute drive. Not going to happen. Just checking, and or I could fly. There's several airlines with nonstop flights to Dallas from Orlando. So that is what I would do, get nonstop flights. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So obviously, I'm still going to stream some labs from time to time, depending on how I'm feeling. But folks, I'm going to be in a zone. I'm not going dark, not completely dark. I'm still going to tweet here and there. I mean, I got to keep my sanity. This helps me too. Vlogging and engaging with the community. And I'm going to be probably involved. There's some people I met at Cisco Live who also in the same boat, Tony E and others who are in the same boat. So, I'm still going to be interacting with the community and maybe like creating our own labs and sharing them, things like that. But streaming is going to be probably what I think I've decided up to this point is, and this may change, Monday through Thursday, which are my normal streaming days. Hey, 5 10, $8,000 to take a test. No, the lab exam is $1,600. That is the fee. Of course, you have to arrange for travel. But this test is going away February 24th, 2020. Will be replaced by a new blueprint. So yeah, I'm going to try to get this test done before then. And there are restrictions on how many times you can take it. So what I was saying is, if I went the maximum number of times, which would be 5 attempts, that would cost me 1,600 times $5,000. So I don't think it'll get to that point. I may get to the point where I say, you know what? If I fail a couple times before February 24th, I may just go with a new format. We'll see. But I would really like to get it done before February. So that's what's going on. That's my streaming strategy. I'll definitely do Monday through Thursdays, vlogs. Likely will not be labbing in the evenings on stream. And I will do some labbing and potentially on stream on the weekends. I'm not decided on that. I'm going to be working really hard and won't have a lot of time for social media. But I still will be checking into Discord, actually more regular than I have been, as well as Twitter and Instagram. But just giving you a heads up. EvenG updates. While I was at Cisco Live or prior, there was an update to EvenG Pro, which I have installed. There's apparently a new kernel So with promises of better performance. So if that's the case, I'm looking forward to that. That would be great. Um, Also, there's some other. I don't see any new menu options, but I know there are some. I have not looked in detail at the release notes. Yeah, 20521 Pro. Oh, we're on. There's some key menu updates, I believe, things like that. But yeah, what I've been doing, I did actually start this weekend. I was recovering from the travel, and I had so many flashcards to catch up with. I mean, I had over 200, and a lot of those were new ones related to infrastructure services, or not infrastructure services, but system management. And if you miss it, it would just queue it up again later. It wouldn't take it off the queue. So it took me all Saturday to get through all those flashcards, but I got through them all. And then yesterday, what I started to do is go through the assessment lab that I took at Cisco Live. So Cisco Live was awesome. This time I prioritized the walk-in labs, and I took all the exams. It took me parts of 4 days. The majority of 4 days I spent in the walk-in labs. No kidding. I only caught one breakout session a day, but I went through a diag section. I did really good at diag. Troubleshooting, I did not do so well, and I think part of it is my mentality that really you're fixing misconfiguration while you're troubleshooting. Tech Gambino, did you take the written at Cisco Live? I did not. I was not eligible to retake the CCIE route switch written. Once you pass that exam, you're not allowed to retake it for 180 days. And I passed it January 31st. So I did, however, take the CCNP. I'm going to talk about this as my Cisco Live blog. And I took that, and I actually failed that. There were things in that exam that, well, it's been years since I passed that exam. The last CCNP exam I took was T-Shoot. I actually got like 1,000 on the T-Shoot. But I took the route, and I thought, well, that's the next best thing. And I failed it. I mean, it didn't do too horrible, but I don't even remember my exact score. It was under 700. And yeah, there was some frame relay stuff in there that I don't remember what. I didn't prepare for it at all. I just walked in cold. And like the sim stuff that you had to do with routing and redistribution, and man, that was pretty much a cinch. Like I got all that stuff. So, but that really does to me kind of demonstrate the need to change the exams. Like this need to restructure the exams is necessary because like what I'm studying right now for the lab exam and what I would have had to have studied to pass the CCNP route, there were big gaps in there that I really wasn't ready for. So it's okay. I didn't, Big Ape says, nothing like those walk-in labs worth the money. Yes, they were awesome. Tenkabito, yeah, sometimes curious how I would do on certain exams. So I took them cold. I'm glad they got rid of the prereqs taking non-IE exams. Yes, a lot of people were very happy about that. I agree. Also, it's good for recertification. I was reading Networking Nerds blog about that. Like, now you can kind of pretty much, you can take, if you're trying to recertify on the IE, you have 3 years, first of all, instead of 2. You can just go take a CCNP exam or like a specialist exam. In some cases, you don't have to do all those 2 or 3 like prerequisite exams now, which is cool. I don't know if you had to do that before for recertification. Well, recertification you had to take the written, or you had to go get the DE or something like that. But anyway, yeah, I failed that. But so there were a few things that I should have known that I did not get that I have not really been focused on. So I made flashcards out of those. I'm reviewing those. You can see them up here, showing them on the screen. But notes, I went ahead and took down notes after the exam on some things I didn't do well. There's some things in there too I'd never heard of. But but I guess it's more common now. Like some parts of the NP seem to be a little more up to date than like what was on the CCIE written, but other parts of it are really out of date compared to what they have in the written. Like the CCIE written seem to be overall a lot more, especially with evolving technologies, more than CCNP. Frame relay, there was a lot of frame relay in there. I didn't do so well. But anyway, overall, yeah, I'm not worried about that. Like, I take that as no negative reflection on me at all. You know, walked in cold, did okay. Like the labbing part of it, man, I did good. Like the routing stuff, I did, I did good. I mean, I knew what they were asking. There's one area I did not do well. There's a command I got stuck on. I'm not going to mention it, but it was kind of a sneaky thing. But I went back today and read. Oh, okay, yeah. So I made some flashcards out of those. Um, but I've started to review that, working on that tonight. And yesterday I worked on my walk-in lab. They give you a free Cisco Expert Lab assessment, troubleshooting assessment, and they score you, and they have like the mentor notes. Um, it's awesome. This stuff you can buy up until August 1st, by the way, I found out. So you can buy these assessments on Cisco Expert Training up until August 1st, after which it will be retired. This is really good stuff for the current CCI exam. I mean, it is awesome. Like these, and they gave me TS-08, which is a difficult one. I think it goes up to like 11. Some have told me it looks like maybe 13, but it had some really difficult, for me, areas in there. I didn't do so well. But then I went and did configuration sections of the lab. So I did all the labs I had available, even one that was not in the session catalog. I found it come up on the screen, and I asked for that one, and they gave me that one too. So there was IPv4, there's IPv6 routing. Then they had, I did great on that. Like I got almost all the IPv6 routing correct, except for like 2 points. Had to do with OSPF v3, IPsec authentication configuration. And I could have taken time to actually look it up, but I didn't get it right. But they had an MPLS section, did not have a multicast config section, but they had security and system management and layer 2. And I did good on a good bit of those, except the MPLS. I'm rusty on MPLS and DMVPN. I'm going to really brush up on that. TechAmbino, you can tell us the command. We won't snitch. Yeah, it's kind of an obscure thing, but man, I got it now. So that is what I mean, I took a rest day. Like Friday, I had pretty much off, and I slept part of the day because I had a red-eye flight, and I was just tired. I mean, it was going at Cisco Live. And then I started working on getting caught up flashcards Saturday, reviewing assessments Sunday. You got home at 8? Yeah. I got home at 6 something a.m. Oh. Yeah, our flight was delayed too. We didn't even have a plane when our flight was supposed to go out. But they seem to make up time. They ever tell you that, like, we're going to make up time? Tony and I were talking about that. He was like, how do you make up time on an airplane? So does that mean that they schedule in buffer time, or are they like hitting a different gear, like to go faster? I always worry about that a little bit on the plane, but they did make up some time apparently. But anyway, that's what's going on with me. Some really cool links I got from Cisco Live. This one is on a Cisco Capture Config Generator. This always kind of stumps me when I go between platforms. Like when I'm on a Nexus or iOS XE, iOS. This has a way you select your platform. Okay, iOS XE, and ASA. It does not have Nexus because Nexus uses the ETH analyzer, right? But you select your interface, the protocol, and it's going to generate the embedded packet capture for you. Really slick. Not good to prepare for an exam, but well, it might be. But yeah, that's a cool link I learned about in the BGP troubleshooting on-demand session. By the way, the on-demand sessions are coming out in 3 days, supposedly. They told me that the video is going to be released. And man, the 4 that I attended were awesome. I picked well. All 4 of them were awesome. And then one of the sessions I attended, breakout sessions, was about IPv6. Actually went up and talked to the speaker for a while about, working Azure. And Azure for the longest time, and they still do, generally, like for a virtual machine. So let's say you put up a virtual machine in Azure and you give it it gets a private IP address pretty much automatically. You can easily say, and even in the wizard, when you build a VM, do you want a public IP? Sure. It's going to give you an IPv4 public IP address. And you can get them willy-nilly. Like there's no, build all the VMs you want and ask for public IPs. You're going to get them. Like your own dedicated static IP if you want. It costs a little more, but IPv6, if you stand up a VM with IPv6 and you want an IPv6 global address assignment, you have to put an Azure load balancer. You have to deploy an Azure load balancer in front. And I've tried to actually script this out, and it's awkward the way it works, but you can do it. But this, I talked to them about that. They said, yeah, it's crazy because, it's partly because of the cloud providers that the exhaustion of IPv4 has been happening so fast. Like they've just gobbled up IPv4 space. And they have also been slow to enable IPv6 implementations in the cloud environments. Well, apparently that is changing. They've got a great advocate, Veronica McKillop. She wrote an article in April. She's a big advocate of IPv6. She's talking here about moving Microsoft internally to IPv6 only. They're already dual stack, but she's moving them to IPv6 only because a lot of the drive is Microsoft actually ran out of, or was about to run out of, internal address space. So even with the 10 space, 192, 172, they had pretty much exhausted that. So that was a big motivator for them to move to IPv6, which is a great read on IPv6 if you're IPv6 geek like myself. Geek in my interest in it, not my experience in it. This is a great read, and the on-demand session was stellar on developing an address plan. Anyway, that's all I've got for tonight, folks. I'm going to get back to studying. Thanks so much for hanging out in the chat. Appreciate it, everybody. I will be active in Discord. We'll be back here tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll give you an update on how I'm doing with the lab assessment, and I need to map out like a timeline. I'll be working on that tomorrow a little bit, like overall how I'm going to get where I need to be by October 14th. 119 days to go. Day 452 here on the Land Tamer stream. Thanks again for all the support. It's great to be back, and we will see y'all back here soon. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., same time. See you here on the Land Tamer stream. Good night.